a treat tonight. Let's get to this. A 16-time Grammy-nominated artist who speaks of love through the music he makes. And no matter where the world falls socially, he ain't never gonna stop singing about that, y'all. Please welcome to the Tammi Mac Late Show on Fox Soul, Brian McKnight. Hey, Brian.
Hey there, what's happening?
Oh, you are happening right now. You are happening. I was telling you earlier on my radio show in Los Angeles, your song is one of our highly requested songs, Nobody. So I thought you might like to hear that. I thought you might like to hear that. So I can never get it out of my head because I'm playing it at least twice a show. So thank you for the new music that we are getting from you, Brian McKnight. Let me say this too. One of my favorite albums of yours is the Anytime album. And I'm probably different from most people because I am really truly a Brian McKnight fan. And so my favorite Brian McKnight song is not any of the songs that are like #1 on the charts. My favorite Brian McKnight song is I Belong to You. I love that song. I love the riffs in it. I just love it's something, it does something to me. I just think it's such a creative melody and everything about that. But I know you're not here to talk about old music, Brian McKnight.
Not really. No.
You're like, not really.
Not
but
really.
I just said, if I'm a fan, I gotta gush for a moment for talking to Brian McKnight.
It's always been if you like one of my songs, if there's one of them on 20 of these albums you love, then I've done my job. And if you have one or more than one, that's even better. So it doesn't matter to me either way. It's still Brian McKnight either way.
Speaking of 20 of your albums, this is the 20th album from Brian
20 in 2020.
2020. Look, yeah. 2020 ain't went right for nobody but you.
That's funny.
Nobody but you. No pun intended, nobody. How have you been holding up during 2020, though? I do want to ask how your health has been. How's the family? And in terms of the quarantine and all that. Where are you quarantining?
We have taken, like with everything with us, finding the silver lining in everything. Our whole family, for most of this, has been together. We have had family dinner just about every night, which normally we wouldn't be able to do. So we have gotten to love on each other more than we ever have during this period of time, and we've made the best of it. We're all healthy, we're all safe, and as long as we have that, I think we have everything we need.
What do you think people can do though? Because you are married, not really a newlywed, but the marriage kind of sort of new to the game in terms of people who have longevity in marriage. So what do you two do to not get on each other's nerve? Because you travel a lot as an artist, Brian, and now you're home all the time. So
yeah, but here's the thing: even when I travel, my wife is with me. We are together every second of every day. Why? Because we want to be together every second of every day. We don't get on each other's nerves. We don't really have anything that rubs either one of us the wrong way. I would much rather be with her than not with her. And that's one of the things that hasn't changed. We're not traveling, but we are home. And I think we'd rather be home than anywhere else in the whole wide world, to be perfectly honest with you. I mean, sure, we like to travel and see other places. And I'd love to take my wife home to Maui whenever because every 6 months or so, she's starting to feel a little fever for being home. So we have to get back to Maui. We haven't.
So she is born and raised in Maui?
Yes, she was born in Chicago, but raised in Maui. She is Hawaiian.
Oh, okay.
So, every 6 months or so, I see that look on her face. I'm like, I gotta get my baby home to her island so that she can get that mermaid feeling again, and then we can come back to the mainland. But for the most part, our lives are basically the same. We want to be together every second of the day, and we are.
Well, that brings me to another thing. You speak so highly of your wife. You're even writing music as you talk to me, Brian. You're like, I got to get on the island to let her get her mermaid on. Like, that's lyrics to a song. Come on, Brian.
That's our life. Our life plays like the lyrics to a song. It plays like a movie every single day.
Oh my goodness. So you just gonna make everybody out here hate on your wife like that because we're looking for a husband like that. But you said that this album is mainly about your wife.
Yeah, the last 3, every song that I've written since we met in 2012 has been about her and our life in some way. 11 of the songs are another love letter to Leilani. And then I have one song that I wrote when Kobe Bryant passed that's on the record. And then the last song, I thought with everything that's going on with the civil unrest and me being such a huge fan of Sting and never really talking about it, I wanted to cover a song. And I covered Sting's Fragile because I truly believe that how we treat one another is the legacy that we leave.
Mm.
And the downfall of all the major civilizations throughout history have fallen because of the way we treated one another.
Yeah, yeah, you're absolutely right about that. Did you think it was necessary to put a song like that on the album, or like which came first, the idea or the climate that we're in now?
Well, the climate, of course, the climate happened, and I wanted to make a statement based on that, that just said that, you know, whatever's happening, what happens after this is what's going to define us. What's the next step? Where do we go from this point? And I think that's what that song "Fragile" is actually talking about, to remind us that while we're doing all these things to one another, what happens next? We have to be thinking about what that is.
Oh, yeah, yeah. We have to be forward thinking. Absolutely. Exodus is the name of the album.
Right.
So let's talk about the word Exodus. It's biblical when I think about it.
It is in a sense, but I didn't take it from that necessarily. My last record was Genesis, and what I did on that last record was go back and revisit every musical style that I had done on all the other records. On Exodus, it was a continuation of that theme. I wanted to put everything I could into this one because it's the last one.
I
This
was
is it.
hold on now. Number one, I don't believe you. Number two,
Okay.
you ain't gonna do that to us.
Well, I hate to disappoint you, but I mean, look, I reserve the right to make more records if I want to. I'm always going to write music.
Uh-huh.
I have no choice but to. I have, living, breathing inspiration with me every day. My wife, who is, well, she'll always be the inspiration for me. But whether or not I put those songs out, I mean, I'm already getting calls from friends like, all them songs you going to write? You think you might want to send one this way? So I've gotten those calls. So we'll see. But I really want us to be defined by what makes us happy and not by what we do for a living. And
Mm.
I want to wake up every day and just, I wake up every day, I make Leilani coffee. I say, baby, what do you want to do today? And that's what we do. I just want to make her happy. She makes me happy. And if that means we wake up one day and go live in Paris for 3 months, that's what we're going to do. And if we don't like that anymore, we're going to go someplace else and do whatever makes us happy from this moment moving forward.
I have a feeling that when you first met Leilani, and by met, I mean laid eyes on her, that you knew she was your wife. Is my feeling incorrect?
I knew that's what I wanted. Yeah, but
Mhm.
I needed to convince her that I was worthy of her because I don't think any man is, and I'm trying to live up to being that every single day.
Mm. So what does make you happy, Brian McKnight?
You know what makes me happy? Making her happy. To be perfectly honest with you, I know that may sound cliche. It may sound like a Hallmark card, but when she's happy, I'm happy. And I truly believe that she's happy when she's making me happy. I've never smiled so much in my life. I've never been a smiler. I've never been a person that looks forward to much of anything. I've always been about me, my career. My career came first. And the decisions I'm making now are based on the fact that I give myself to someone else, the person that I love more than anything in the world. I give myself to them every single day. And that's all I really want to do. That's my major focus of every single day. And that's what we live.
Wow. When you said you bring her coffee every morning and that makes you happy, it reminded me of a story that Jimmy Carter tells often about his wife. He says that one day he asked her what she wanted for Christmas, and she said to him, "I'd like for you to bring me coffee every day of my life." Every day of their marriage, that's what he does every single morning. He has fulfilled the gift that she asked for him. And I thought, as a woman, like, why can't I think of a gift like that? I'm like, I want the Louis Vuitton bag, you know?
Yeah, I think that we find that in these simple things, it's that gesture of love, that
Mhm.
it's something that she wants and she needs in the morning. She needs her caffeine, and she wants me, to do that. We've been doing that for years now,
Yeah.
where we make that happen. And I want to make sure she has whatever she needs every day, whatever she wants every single day, because I live to please her that way.
I want to get back to your retirement. What really does it mean when an artist retires? Like, do
Well,
you all have, like, what does
yeah,
that mean?
I'm not retiring. I'm
Okay.
just not making any more records as far as I know right now. I'm still going to tour. I'm still going to do things as Brian
Okay.
McKnight.
Okay.
But I just don't think making another record of original music is something that I want to do in the near future. It's just not the way I feel right now. I think that 20 is a great round number, and we'll see what happens. And I'm excited about where this next adventure is going to take us. To be
Hmm.
perfectly honest, it's
Yeah.
it's quite the ride that we're on. You know, people talk about a honeymoon phase. Every day is that honeymoon phase for us, and has been, and I'm sure will continue to be.
What do you want listeners to take away from Exodus?
The same thing that I've always wanted from every record. One, that I am the man that you see on Instagram with my wife. She is the focal point of my life. She is all I live for every single day. And musically, I just want you to go on this musical journey with me, because I touch on so many different kinds of music, so many different styles, because I was lucky enough to be born at the end of the 60s. So I heard the 70s, I heard the 80s, I heard everything before that. I've been blessed with such a wealth of great artists to pull from Stevie and the Doobie Brothers and James Ingram and Aretha and Kenny Loggins, and even rock records from playing guitar, that I put all of those things that I've learned from the greats into the music that I do. And hopefully it's told a musical story over these almost 30 years
Yeah.
that I can be proud of and that people can cherish for years to come.
I want to ask you, because the video of Nobody is footage of your wedding, right?
Yes, it is.
So you talk about how Leilani puts a smile on your face. So from that, I get that you are a different Brian McKnight before her than you are after her. So what is the biggest difference in Brian McKnight?
Well, I never liked anybody. I never had a relationship. I never had feelings. My heart beat the very first day for the very first time when I saw Leilani. I did not think that, even though I wrote all these love songs, that love existed in the forms that we see in movies and what we hear in songs. I really did not believe that because I had no example of that anywhere.
So you were writing these love songs, but didn't believe in them.
No, if you listen to Back at One, it's very on the surface, because it was based on a manual for a DVD player that I was installing in my home theater at the time. That's where my inspiration would come from. The first time I ever wrote a song about anyone was for Leilani, because I never felt that for anyone ever. So that's the difference. Now I am a man who is in love with someone for the first time ever. And I think everybody can see that difference. My friends from before, they immediately tell my wife, yo, whatever you're doing, this is a different dude. He's completely changed and different. So she is all made all the difference in my life in every way. I look at things now like a sunset. I never cared about a sunset before. Looking at the stars at night, little things that I never paid attention to, that now I see in a different light. Because my wife is from Hawaii, I know about Ohana and Aloha. We're in Hawaii. I feel what she feels for her heritage and things of that nature. And now I'm engrossed in it the same way that she is. And I feel like I'm a part of all of that as well. So I've learned so much. She teaches me daily how to have humility and have empathy for folks, and sympathy for people that I've never had before, because I was always singularly focused on myself. Right. Singularly focused on my career, singularly focused on where I'm going. Now everything is we, everything is she and I, everything is our family, and what that's going to be moving forward. And I tell you, it is a great thing to give yourself to someone who's giving you back exactly what you're giving them.
Well, I thank you so much for giving us the music that you've been giving us, Brian McKnight, and happy to see you in such a happy space and time in your life. Thank you so much for being on the Tammi Mac Late Show. The album is Exodus, the 20th and possibly the last one from Brian McKnight. But we won't hold you to that, my brother. We will not hold you to that. Please, thank you so much, Brian McKnight. And I have to ask, will you please stick around and sing something for me from Exodus?
Absolutely, I will.
Thank you. So y'all don't go nowhere. Brian McKnight is going to stick around and give you some love from Exodus on the Tammi Mac Late Show here on Fox Soul.